The occupation niches are really in the rise come the springtime. And this is a niche that is also an evergreen niche. So if you haven't already tried your hand at the occupation niche, I highly, highly recommend it. And today we are going to do some research together. We are also going to create a design together. So if you are really looking to design something as we approach the spring here, I hope this video helps those of you who are really looking to rev up your profit and your store's revenue in the next few months and hopefully ride the waves of the occupation niche, because there is one occupation that is really going to be trending in the month of May. So if you haven't already really wanted to hop into this, highly recommend following this video and doing this design with me today as we go along. So first of all, I want to show the niche that I have. This mouse that is just not, it's just going all over. But if I look up the teacher niche, this niche, I cannot say enough that it is a niche that sells all year round, not only just for t-shirts, but as we could see when it populates, shirts, 2,553 monthly searches, gifts, 5,318 monthly searches, lanyards, I just said lanyards. Lanyards. I have speech difficulties. Please forgive me. Teacher sweatshirt, 1,797 teacher appreciation gift, 2,557 monthly searches. So guys, I cannot tell you enough how high demand this one niche is. If you aren't already in it, this is maybe your sign to jump in. I've made videos about the teaching niche prior, and I will keep talking about the teaching niche as long as I'm on this YouTube platform, because it is something that is not dead. You can still hop into this niche. I've seen previous students and clients and people who have went into this niche. They've made designs that have just sold like hotcakes. If you trend for this niche, you can really see some nice profit, some nice sales on the daily. Again, I don't need to keep plugging this niche. I think you guys get my point at this point, but as we can see, a lot of these designs are very adorable. I see someone has almost like a Star Wars type of design. Of course, you can't put Star Wars in your SEO, just a copyright warning for anyone who's looking to do Star Wars. Any type of Disney reference in your SEO, I will say it over and over and over again on YouTube, you cannot use anything that is a trademarked word in your SEO. You can get reported and your listing taken down for even using trademarked words in the SEO. So don't use anything that's Disney, maybe Star Wars. Just make sure to kind of stay away from those, just as a warning as we're going down this list here. As you can see, this person did not do that. And there are also trademarked and copyrighted fonts. I know there's fonts that look like the Star Wars font that is not copyrighted that you can technically use. So that's just something to note as well as we go. There are also trademarked and copyrighted fonts, like the Walt Disney font. That is a trademarked and copyrighted font, surprisingly enough. I know I was looking for that for a while to put on t-shirts because I am a huge Disney fan. I'm going on a Disney cruise. I love Disney so much, but I will never make anything Disney unless I buy a license from Disney. Kind of stinks, but just the name of the game. They trademarked it. That's their IP, and we respect that here. We respect IP. So anyways, outside of that, there are a lot of very cute teacher t-shirts that are the retro groovy font types of style. It's a good day to teach, super cute. I've seen this just all over the place with the wavy graphics and trendy types of fonts and styles. And there's really nice ones that are just, take a look, it's in a book. This is just super, super adorable. And these are really simple designs, as we can see in 20 plus cart. If I go back and I look at product analytics, we can search this way as well. So if I look and I filter the estimated total sales, we can see here what really has trended in the long term as far as even the short term. So a custom teacher t-shirt, this has gotten the seller over $4,000 last month, which is really good. So as we could see, this seller, they do a custom teacher t-shirt. This is a really simple design. It's not anything out of the world. It's just a block type of font. It's either a bison bold font or a Babus new font with a cursive font underneath. Honestly, this specific trend, this duo font trend, has been trending the past 3 years, and I feel like there's so many renditions of this type of duo font now that it's good to kind of break away from that if you can and be a little bit different than the rest. But again, this is just a simple, trendy design. If we look on Everbee, by the way, you can get a free trial of Everbee in the link in the description below. As we can see, the seller is making $4,866 last month alone, so they're making quite a bit of revenue every single month on this. Their total sales is 3,835 sales, which is really, really great for one t-shirt alone. This listing's only been up for 12 months. So a lot of people tell me, hey, Heather, I feel like Etsy is too saturated. How can you rise up as a new seller and a new listing on Etsy? As you can see, a lot of listings you will see are under 12 months. So there's a few that are over 12 months, but 6 months, 7 months, 7 months, 7 months, 8 months. I feel like I'm getting annoying here talking about this, but this teacher sweatshirt that's 7 months old, it already has 10,000 sales. If I pull this up here, we can see 20 plus added to cart. Again, this is a new listing. So newer listings do rank a lot of the times over older listings. So when I say to do a niche that is already quite saturated, that's never a bad thing, because if you bring a design that's different than the rest, you can still really trend in the teaching niche by itself. So as we could see, 1,000 sales so far on this item. That's only 7 months old. The seller's making over 10,000 a month in their Etsy shop from this item. So if that's not an indicator that you could still go into this niche and break through market saturation, I don't know what is. And I hope that this is good inspiration as you go forward in your Etsy business. So outside of our inspo today, we see what's trending. We have idea through Everbee on what is kind of doing well on Etsy. I really want to go over how to create a design that's going to be different than all these other designs. And I know it's so easy to be like, oh, well, this is selling, so maybe I'll make something really similar to this. But today we're going to go over something that might be a little bit different than the rest, but still trendy in our own way. Alrighty, so now we're going to hop on Kittl, and I wanted to show you, first of all, why I love Kittl so much. The main reason why I have switched and transitioned to Kittl is because of the abilities of designing that I would say other softwares really don't provide. And this is very print on demand friendly. So if you wanted to use any of these templates, you can, and plug and play certain phrases for a specific niche. Now, I like to look at the design templates just to get an idea of what I want to create. As far as design templates go, we can see here the Stay Groovy retro font. This is a really neat type of design that you can take to the teaching niche. All you need is love. Again, this is a very simple and nice type of design that is groovy and it's retro, and it really goes with what we're seeing as a design trend right now. So outside of that, there's just a lot of groovy retro types of designs, and I'm really getting inspired just seeing like music to my heart. Like, these are just such cool designs. Enjoy Sunshine. I think these are just very retro and nice and something that's different than the rest, right? So I really love this type of design. It really inspires me. So I think I'm going to create some type of retro groovy design today that's a little bit different than what we see on Etsy already, given we're still doing the retro style. So it's not going to be completely different than what's trending, but it's going to be, again, just made in my own way, in my own version. So first of all, I'm going to add in a text. I'm going to add in a headline here. And what's really cool is if you look at the add the text area, you can go to vintage and see what's already made as design templates. So this can give you some ideas, especially if you're looking to do circle designs, because those are kind of hard to put together at times on your own. So seeing what is already made for you on Kittl, that can kind of help. But outside of that, there is all of these different types of decorated designs you can just add in. So like chill, we can add that in and make our own design off of that. I think that's super cool. And if we see the shading that they have is this shading, the offset, you can change. You can make really large or really small. We can edit the angle of it if we wanted to the sides. So that's just something that's really nice to use. And then even some of these have a type of gradient on them. So as we can see, this one, it has a fading color cut, which is really nice. You can always change these to your want. So I'm going to delete these. I'm just showing these as examples because those are some of the effects we're going to use today in our design. So I did want to show that as we go forward. I don't know why this isn't, there we go. So with looking at just all of these different decorated designs, I'm again getting super inspired. That's why I like Kittl, because I can just look at their design templates. I can look at what's already made and go from there. So I'm going to add in my headline, and for this design today, I definitely want to speak to a specific type of teacher. There are so many different subcategories of teaching. There is math teachers, there is speech pathologists and language pathologists that are in the school system. There's principals, there's kindergarten teachers, there is fourth grade, fifth grade teachers, art teachers. There's so many different types of teachers. Just going down the list of all the different types of occupations in the teaching niche alone, there is so much possibility. For that reason, I like to speak to one specific audience type. So today, I think doing maybe kindergarten teacher would really work well for this niche if I'm looking to design in it. So I'm going to put in kindergarten, and I'm going to make this smaller so it fits on our working area here. I'm going to copy, I'm going to paste, and I'm just going to put teacher below it. So I'm going to do the same thing with both these, and I saw Sunship looked pretty cool. I almost want to use a little bit of this sunshade as well. I think this is a super cool type of font. I mean, this is something that's trending lately. I've seen it trending a little bit more as time has gone on. So I'm going to make this teacher similar width to the kindergarten. And then we're going to play with some effects today to add into these. Oops, that is not what I meant to do. So for the kindergarten, what I want to do is I do want to pull in those kind of retro colors and almost do like a sunset type of appearance. So I'm going to use just this kind of peachy orange shade, and I do want to add in a shadow of some sort. So I am going to do maybe like a dark brown color. And again, I'm going to do a dark brown color. I want the offset a little bit larger, and I want the angle to be slightly to the left. I think that is kind of what I'm going for as far as aesthetics go. So this is a really cool part, is we can add in like a fading too if we wanted to this. And again, since we're going for that sunset feel, I feel like that would be really cool to add in. So I really love that already. I think that looks really cool. And the second thing we can do with Kittl is we can distort this. So if we wanted to do kind of like a kindergarten distorted and wavy type of feel, we can do that. And then if I want to make it like super large, I can do that as well. So I might take this down, and I feel like this is gonna get too chaotic if I keep going this route, but I might do a little bit of that. I think that's kind of cool what we have going on. We can also add in a slight border to this, so it goes with the shadow. I like adding in a border weight, especially if I'm doing this type of shadow, just so it looks like the shadow is bleeding into everything. So outside of that, I'm pretty happy. I almost want to make this a little bit more orange so it shows up better on a t-shirt, but I'm going to do similar styles to this teacher look as well. So I think I'm going to add in that orange we had. Maybe I'll do a pink, or maybe I'll do a yellow. I kind of like the idea of just doing a little bit different of a shade. So I'm going to do the color, the same brown that we used earlier. And then I'm going to add in a border weight. Again, we're going to keep with that same color, and I'm going to match the border. So we have 15.6 as border. I'm going to do 15.6. So here's the thing to keep in mind. If you use a border on these, more than likely you're going to have this overlap. So instead of doing the border, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to where my shading is, and my outline width we're going to bring up quite a bit so it makes sense with that. And I'm also going to change the color of this to that darker brown as well. I think that will work out really nice. So I may match these colors. The more that I look at this, I think matching the colors would look pretty nice. Maybe I'll make this like a light peachy orange, because I have something that I really want to do with this design. the more that I look at this. So I am first of all going to do that. I'm going to distort this just a smidge. I feel like it'd be really cool. The other thing that's really neat about Kittl, and there is an option to add in glyphs at the end. So I think what I want to do is see if I can do a glyph. So I really love that. So I think I'm going to keep that glyph in for the R. I'll take out that, and I am really happy with that. So I'm going to distort this just a tiny smidge more. So I'm going to take back what the T is just like all up in the kindergarten that I don't want. I don't know. The T almost looks like a J now though. That's the problem. I'm going to try to fix this T and make it into a glyph so it looks like a T. Oops, I have no idea what I just did. Oopsies. Okay, so let me go back to my glyph and we're going to try to fix the T. So if I type in T, I can edit it. I think the lowercase t is what I'm going to use because it just looks funny. I'm going to take off the distort. Okay, now I think I like what we're going for. So I'm going to make this just a smidge smaller. So this is what I have envisioned as the second thing I want to do. I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste this. And I'm going to make this into a shadow. And we're just going to keep offsetting it just to -128. And I'm going to do the same colors that we had earlier. So I'm going to copy, I'm going to paste. Again, I'm just offsetting slightly. I'm going to change the color of the shadow again. We're going to do orange. Now I know this looks crazy right now. Bear with me. What I'm going to do is I am going to put this backwards. So I'm going to look at my layers and I'm going to bring, there we go. Okay. I'm just bringing up my layers and I'm trying to just fix these because it somehow got really messed up. We're almost there. We are almost there. So I'm going to take this angle and match it to what we had earlier. So it was about 128. And then I'm going to offset this just a little bit more. So now we are almost getting somewhere. Now, with this, what I'm going to do is I also want to do the fading just so it matches what the kindergarten is. So I'm going to do the fading and I'm going to take that orange color because I thought that was super nice. This pink is showing just a smidge, so I'm just trying to fix it. Now what I'm going to do, since I have this to my liking, is these are already grouped, I guess. So let me just group these. I'm going to shift and so these are already grouped. So that's great. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tilt this a little bit. So this is just right below where the R is and it kind of all bleeds together. I think that would be super cool. And then what I am going to do next is I think I'm going to add like a rainbow behind this or a half rainbow. So I'm just going to look for half rainbow. This one looks nice, but I want it to not have, let's see. Maybe if I spelled it correctly, then I would get better results. That would probably help. Maybe if I look for half or gradient circle. Ooh, that's kind of cool. I'm just pulling some objects that I like, so don't mind me for this moment. This is the behind the scenes of my usual design process in my head, and I'm not gonna lie, it's not a straight line by any means, but that's just designing. You have to design what makes sense to you and what fits in your design style, and this is just my own. This is my own design style, so see, I'm looking for this shape just in like circle form. I'm going back to that one that I saw. So this Enjoy Sun. We're going to look into this one because I just want to see what type of circle they used. It's a really nice circle. Oh, they're all by themselves circles. Okay, that is cool. That is really cool. So I'm going to try this. I'm going to copy, then I'm going to paste. Ooh, that is so cool. So that is one feature of Kittl that I like too, is if you see an element on someone else's design, you can kind of just copy it and you can paste it. Of course, it doesn't paste exact, but we have most of the circle done for us. So I'm going to fix this middle circle. I'm going to fix it a little bit. Okay. That's still not 90. Does anyone else have this issue? Like they can't, I'm like the worst at just trying to get it exactly smack dab in the middle. Here was my initial vision for everyone who has been watching this video up until this point. I really wanted this circle, but I want it in the colors that we initially used. So now that we have this, I am going to push this to the back. After making all this, all the struggle with this rainbow, I'm realizing I just want to take out these two. Like it would make more sense, right? Anyways, sometimes that just happens in design. Like I don't want to come across that I'm just like this perfect designer that always knows my strategy, because it's not like that. And that's just how it is. Oops, that is not what I wanted. This is kind of a really fun rainbow because look at that. That is cool. That is so awesome. I am so happy with this design now. I think that is so cool that I could just put the rainbow with the kindergarten. I had no intention of doing that, but now I am so happy that I did. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. Initially, I wanted to make it the same width, but now it just makes more sense to keep it tinier. So I am really happy with this design. I think this looks like super different. It's super unique and I love it. I honestly love it. I'm just centering it right now. And I'm going to add in one last thing to this design. So the last thing I wanted to add is a texture. I think the grunge textures are really cool. And as you can see, just by adding that like grungy look, I think it's just really neat. Ooh. So if we like overlay it, we can do soft light. You can also do alpha mask. You can also do just a color burn. I personally like the alpha mask and we can clip it to our content. So it's just over the kindergarten teacher by itself. But at the end of this design video, like this is such a nice design, guys. Like this is so cool. And when you go to save this. So I will save this as 5,000 by 5,000. I will remove the background. I'm going to optimize quality and then I'm going to download as a PNG file. So after that, I'm going to take it to a mock-up image. So I'm going to put kindergarten teacher and this is so cool. And honestly, maybe not this one. I kind of take it back about this grunge texture. It's nice. But I will say there is a lot of the design that's taken out on this side here. So I'm going to delete that texture we just added and I'm going to release the texture first and delete it. I'm going to use a different texture that's not so destructive, I guess. Let me just play with these textures for a moment and see which one is best. So I think this initial texture that I used is best for this design. And for this, I'm doing the alpha mask. I just really like how it looks very vintage. I think it's just very, very cute and adorable. So again, I'm going to save, remove background, optimize quality. I'm going to download for digital use. You can also always save as a SVG if you would like. I personally like PNGs because you can remove the background. With SVGs, you can as well. But as far as print on demand goes, usually the PNG is the best. So outside of that, I'm going to show you in a moment here how this looks like on a t-shirt. Alrighty guys, so I uploaded this to my mock-up images on a heather mauve Bellin Canvas 3001, and then also a Gildan 18,000 crew neck sweatshirt. And oh my gosh, I absolutely love this design. I had such a fun time using Kittl to create this design. It is so unique and different. And I will say for this design, as you can see, I put it on a heather mauve just because the color contrast I think is really pretty with it. But I may suggest using maybe a black if you were to use this design. Again, you can get Kittl in the description down below. Also in the description down below, you also have access to this template. So I'm sharing this template I created in this video. So if you want to use it, please use it. But I do recommend changing it, altering it for your own IP. You're going to find that a lot of people use a lot of my templates as is, which is great and all, but you're going to find there's a lot of competition when that happens. So please alter this to make it your own and your own unique design trend. And I really hope this inspires everyone to create their own types of designs going forward. Again, this was such a fun time using Kittl today. If you have any questions, comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel for more content and design tutorials like this one. And I will see you all in the next video here. And you can edit and transform into your own intellectual. I'm going to repeat that. Sorry. I feel like my brain is pooping out today. It's pooping out. I'm going to take a water break. Okay, this is harder than I initially anticipated. So I am going to put this to the back and then I'm going to put this one to the back as well. Better, I'm just going to bring this one to the front. Except for it's not going to the front. Forward. Go forward all the way. What I'm going to do with this one, this last one here, is I'm going to add in a border. Maybe not.